Mr. Mayor, trustees, thank you. George, Jim, thank you for allowing us to have this award ceremony tonight here. I want to thank friends and families for coming out tonight. We're going to welcome 4 new officers to the Orland Park Police Department, to our family. We have a sergeant that is going to be pinned tonight, newly promoted, and we have a lieutenant and a commander that are going to be pinned also by a family member. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Dave O'Connor of the Board of Trustees, who's going to swear in, beginning with Sergeant Casey Wall. Board of Fire, please. Oh, Board of Fire, please. You want this, Dave?
Raise your right hand. I, Casey Wall.
I, Casey Wall.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
I will enforce all laws of the state.
I will enforce all laws of the state.
And ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
And ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
I will faithfully discharge the duties.
I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the Office of Police Sergeant.
Of the Office of Police Sergeant.
For the Orland Park Police Department.
For the Orland Park Police Department.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Sergeant Casey Wall.
Sergeant Wall was hired by the Orland Park Police Department as a patrol officer in 2013. During his tenure as a patrol officer, he's a field training officer. He trained all the new recruits coming on board, street evidence technician, targeted response unit officer. He was promoted to case detective. While a case detective with the Orland Park Police Department, he served in assignments with South Suburban Major Crimes Task Force, Cook County Internet Crimes Task Force Against Children, and he's pinned today by his father, Murph.
Chief Sergeant. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Sign off on both votes. I want to read that first.
You can read it first. Yeah.
So the next 4 individuals that we're doing the swearing in by President O'Connor are 4 of our recruits. All of them were hired this year. They completed their training at their respective police academies. They're currently field training with their FTOs. And we just received word they all are going from phase 1 to phase 2. So we'll be starting with Officer Lindsay Vanderlaan. Lindsay, do you want to step forward?
Please raise your right hand. I, Lindsay Vanderlaan.
I, Lindsay Vanderlaan.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
I will enforce all laws of the state.
I will enforce all laws of the state.
And ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
And ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
I will faithfully discharge the duties.
I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the Office of Police Officer.
Of the Office of Police Officer.
For the Orland Park Police Department.
For the Orland Park Police Department.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Officer Lindsay Vanderlaan.
Lindsay's being pinned by her parents, Wayne and Sue Vanderlaan.
Here, I didn't get a chance to say hello. How you been? Good to see you. Good. You can't win.
Keep sliding down. Confused for it too.
Lindsay. Go ahead and sign off on both.
Officer Amanda Prattle. Amanda will be pinned by her parents, Dennis and Deborah Prattle.
Please raise your right hand. I, Amanda Prattle.
I, Amanda Prattle.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
I will enforce all laws of the state
I will enforce all laws of the state
and ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
and ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Police Officer
of the Office of Police Officer
for the Orland Park Police Department
for the Orland Park Police Department
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Officer Amanda Pratt.
This would be a prom trying to get my boot hair out. Yeah, yeah. It must be tough on the parents. It must be tough on the parents.
Okay, Amanda. Sign both those, please. No, nope. Just that one there. Great. Thank you.
Officer Ryan Keeler McNamara. Ryan will be pinned by his father, Kevin McNamara.
Please raise your right hand. I, Ryan Keeler McNamara,
I, Ryan Keeler McNamara,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
I will enforce all laws of the state
I will enforce all laws of the state
and ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
and ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Police Officer
of the Office of Police Officer
for the Orland Park Police Department
for the Orland Park Police Department
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Officer Ryan Keeler McNamara.
Officer Cody Gestes. Cody's accompanied by his mother, Jennifer, who will be pinning his badge on him.
Raise your right hand. I, Cody Gestes,
I, Cody Gestes,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
I will enforce all laws of the state
I will enforce all laws of the state
and ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
and ordinances of the Village of Orland Park.
I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Police Officer
of the Office of Police Officer
for the Orland Park Police Department
for the Orland Park Police Department
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Officer Cody Gestes. Can sign both those, please? Excellent. Thank you.
Whoa.
All right.
Next up, we're here to celebrate the promotion of two of our employees. The first one up will be Wayne Lee, promotion from lieutenant to commander. Wayne's got hired by the police department in 2001 as a patrol officer. He was a DARE officer, school resource officer at Carl Sandburg High School, and then moved to case detective/investigator. Wayne was promoted to investigative sergeant in 2016, investigation lieutenant in 2021, and now commander of patrol. Congratulations, Wayne. Wayne is pinned by his wife, Sue. Next up, we're celebrating the promotion of Sergeant William Fitzgibbon to the rank of lieutenant. Bill was hired as a patrol officer in 2008, served as an FTO, street ET, targeted response unit officer, and a supervisor of that unit when he made sergeant. He's assigned to the FBI Violent Crimes Task Force, promoted to sergeant in 2020, and as I said, was supervisor of the TRUE unit. Bill's going to be pinned by his father, Bob, but I would be remiss not to acknowledge his wife, Christina, in the crowd, who's also a sergeant on the Orland Park Police Department, so we have the entire family. Okay, we're going to move on to the award ceremony at this time. The first award up is the Exceptional Service Award. The Exceptional Service Award is presented to officers and employees of the department for a highly credible accomplishment, bringing public acclaim to themselves, the department, or the police profession as a result of training, devotion to duty, or service to the public. This award is presented to Lieutenant William Fitzgibbon, Tactical Officer Tyler Lorick, Tactical Officer David Hansen, Tactical Officer Nate O'Connor, Tactical Officer Alex Vayner, Tactical Officer Michael Benjamin. On April 5th, 2022, the Targeted Response Unit conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle. Immediately upon stopping the vehicle, further movement by the two occupants was observed. Both subjects exited the vehicle and attempted to flee on foot. A foot pursuit ensued, with one subject in a physical fight with the other. Both subjects were ultimately taken into custody. A loaded Glock handgun with a filed-off serial number was located in one subject's waistband. A second handgun and a Draco AK-47 mini rifle were recovered from within the vehicle. Both subjects charged possession of a weapon by a felon and possession of a defaced firearm. After further testing by the ISP Crime Lab, it was determined that two of the weapons were used in shootings in the city of Chicago. Members of the TRUE unit should be commended for their exceptional service in removing 2 violent offenders and 3 illegal firearms from the streets of Orland Park. Exceptional Service Award presented to Investigator Chris Lacerdo. On March 13, 2022, the Orland Park Police Department responded to a commercial burglary at the Binny's Liquor Store at 103 Orland Park Place. When officers arrived, they observed the suspects had smashed out the front glass door with a sledgehammer and sold over $8,500 worth of premium liquor. Review of the security camera footage revealed masked, gloved suspects committed the crime and fled the scene in a white work van. Investigator Lacerdo reviewed street security camera footage and located the suspect vehicles. Using investigative resources, Investigator Lacerdo located both vehicles in Chicago and began surveillance. After a lengthy surveillance, Investigator Lacerdo developed suspects and spoke to other police departments who had prior burglary contact with them. APB bulletins were reviewed from these other police departments, and Investigator Lacerdo obtained 2 court orders for tracking devices on the suspect vehicles. Once developed, the South Suburban Major Case Unit was activated. Call detail search warrants for the suspect's cell phones were obtained, which placed them at Binny's during the time of the burglary. Arrest warrants were obtained and both subjects were arrested and charged with commercial burglary. Investigator Lucerto's dedication duties in keeping with the highest traditions of the Orland Park Police Department and deserving of the Exceptional Service Award. Unfortunately, Chris could not be here tonight. The next award is Exceptional Service presented to Officer Maria McKendry and CIT Officer Sean Murphy. I don't believe they're in attendance either tonight. On June 12, 2022, Officer McKendry was dispatched to a residence for a 22 years of age male having a mental health crisis. The subject had removed knives from the residence and fled on foot. The male was located on the front porch of a neighboring residence, still in possession of the knives. Upon arrival, Officer McKendry gave immediate verbal commands clearing the residents who were still on the porch and advising people to go into their homes due to the threat posed by the male subject who was still armed with the knives. Officer McKendry gave clear verbal commands to the subject to drop the knives and the need for nobody to get hurt. In clear and calm fashion, Officer McKendry relayed her exact location and current events to the dispatch team. Upon arrival of the crisis intervention team, Officer Murphy, we were able to get the subject to drop the knives and walk toward him. The subject was transported to the hospital due to the mental health crisis. Due to the combined efforts of Officers Murphy and McKendry, they successfully de-escalated a highly stressful and dangerous situation without incident and are to be recognized for the Exceptional Service Award. Unit Citation Award. The Unit Citation is awarded to active participants of an operating unit for a cited action involving a highly unusual accomplishment through the teamwork of all involved in the cited action. Lieutenant William Fitzgibbon, Tactical Officer Michael Benjamin, Tactical Officer Tyler Lorick, Tactical Officer David Hansen, Tactical Officer Nate O'Connor, Tactical Officer Alex Vayner, Officer Dan Livingston. On April 13, 2022, tactical officers detected an odor of burnt cannabis emanating from a parked vehicle at Orland Square Mall. 3 subjects had walked away from the vehicle as the officers approached. Plain view search of the vehicle was conducted through the vehicle's windows. Illegally packaged cannabis and a firearm with extended magazine were observed in plain view inside the parked vehicle. Subject returned to the vehicle and entered it. When the officers attempted to detain him, the subject exited and fled on foot while displaying that black pistol. Foot pursuit began, subject taken into custody after physically fighting with the responding officers and dropping the firearm while fleeing. The other 2 subjects completely exited the vehicle were identified and taken into custody. The dropped firearm was located in a probable cause search of the vehicle led to the recovery of 2 more guns, one of which was again a Draco AK-47 mini rifle. 2 of the individuals were charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. These officers are recognized with a unit citation for their exceptional work in recovering multiple firearms and taking 2 violent offenders off the streets of Orland Park, one of whom was an armed convicted felon.
Nice job, guys. Thank you.
Life-saving medals. The life-saving medal is awarded for an act performed by officers or employees of the department whose prompt and alert actions resulted in the savings of a human life. Officer William Kazmierzik. On April 3rd, Officer Kazmierzik was dispatched to a residence referencing a 65-year-old male who had collapsed. Officer Kazmierzik determined the male was not breathing, had no pulse. AED was utilized and a shock was administered. The Orland Fire Protection District paramedics arrived and took over treatment. The male was brought back to life and transported to the hospital for further treatment. Is Mr. Stephen Dorich and his wife Ava in attendance, please? Stephen Dorich. Would you like to go up and stand by the officer, Mr. Dorich? Mr. Dorich was the person that Kaz saved. Officer Kazmierzik is presented a life-saving award for his facts action dedicated to duty that resulted in the saving of Stephen Dorich's life. Life-saving award on February 13th, Officer Prattle responded to Papa Joe's restaurant for a female subject not breathing. Upon arrival, Officer Prattle immediately provided 2 rounds of CPR and was able to gain a pulse. The female subject was even able to speak with Officer Prattle prior to being transported to the hospital by the Orland Fire Protection District paramedics. Officer Prattle was presented a life-saving award for his facts action and dedication to duty that resulted in the saving of a life. Life-Saving Award, Officers Zlicky and Healy. On January 30th, Officer Zlicky and Healy responded to a residence for an ambulance assist for a male subject not breathing and turning blue. Upon arrival, the officers began CPR while applying an AED. One shock was administered and the male subject regained a pulse. The male subject was then transported to the hospital by the Orland Fire Protection District paramedics. Officers Zlicky and Healy are presented a life-saving award for their fast action, dedication to duty that resulted in the saving of a life. Before we complete our awards ceremony, we do want to recognize two members of the Orland Fire Protection that are here. Chief Schofield, Deputy Chief Ciccapalmi. Everything we do is in combination with the fire district, especially on these life-saving awards. We go to the scene, we use an AED, we start CPR, but that's not enough. It's the completion of our relationship with the fire district that allows us to do what we do. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. That'll complete our ceremony.
And thank you, Deputy Chief, for calling out Deputy Chief Ciccapalmi and Deputy Chief Schofield, so I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the work the Fire District does with our police department, and we'd be remiss if we didn't also mention that we have a former Chief of Police, Tim McCarthy, here as well. So thank you very much.